Welcome to Buzzed and Baffled, the podcast where the wine flows, the stories twist, and the truth is always stranger than fiction. We laugh, we sip, and we dive into tales that leave us buzzing with questions and baffled by reality.
But before we uncork the weirdness, a quick disclaimer. We're not experts, just curious storytellers with glasses in hand. All content within this podcast is our humble opinion. Some content may be dark, disturbing, or downright inappropriate, so listener discretion is advised. And remember, nothing pairs better with a wild story than a good pour, so let's get buzzed and baffled.
Do you want to tell me about David on the record or off the record?
No, it was just funny because we got the fence up, and he does the unrolling, and I do the zip tying to the posts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like winterizing my lawnmower and moving stuff from the garage into the shed and into the shed. So, and I was like, well, while I'm doing that, take the zip ties and zip tie the crossbar to the bottom of the fence in the middle of each section.
So it doesn't fall over.
Yeah. So the bottom of the fence is attached to the top, not just at the poles, but so you can't just push through.
Yeah, so she can't weasel her way under or over.
So he starts doing that, and I'm doing whatever. 5 minutes later, I come back, and he's still in the same corner. I'm like, you should have been done by now. There's 12 spots that need to be done. 12 zip ties.
Was he going each circle?
No.
And doing it?
I think I would have been more pissed about that. No, he was doing, because apparently when I said crossbar, didn't ring any bells. He was doing in the middle of the ones I already did on the vertical.
Okay.
So there are a bunch that have 3 zip ties now.
It's extra secure.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, nope. Nope. Do the middle. And then he was moving around. I'm like, keep moving. I was like, stop. Right there. That's where you need to do it.
You need to do hand over modeling where you're moving his hands for him.
Well, nothing has changed with how we put the fence up.
It's the same every year.
Yeah.
My fence is a lot smaller in footage that I have to do. And I just leave it rolled up against the side, and then I unroll it and screw it to the house. I do one zip tie on the thing so it doesn't tip over.
Yeah, I was like, no, you need to do the bottom of the plastic fence to the crossbar, so it's not defeating the whole purpose of the fence. If it's just a big gap between the two fences because the wind blew.
Lana's like, freedom!
Yeah, I was like, Dad didn't do his job.
You'd be so mad.
Oh my God.
If you had to crawl out there through the pee and the poop
I stepped in so much dog shit earlier. And there's nothing we can do about it.
You have to clean up those landmines before winter comes. Otherwise, it's going to be super gross.
No, that's too late. I'd have to rake the entire backyard because there's so many leaves I can't see where it is.
Well, and the neighbor's trees, again, dumped so many leaves. It's like my fake turf is covered and I can't even see it. It's going to be so gross.
You mean your Kentucky bluegrass?
Yeah, I have the world's best lawn. It's always pristine in green.
It is.
It's always the perfect length.
Yep. Sticks to your socks just right.
Gets really hot in the sun. Don't go out there barefoot.
You would have plastic yard that's sizzling when it gets warm out. Poor Percy's little feet are
That's what he gets.
How dare he try to go relieve himself on the lawn?
Did you know that they make lawn vacuums for my turf?
Yes, I did.
I seriously thought about getting one, but I do have a shop vac, so I just use that in the springtime.
One time, my sister got me. I wanted a small shop vac for Christmas, and so that's what she got me. But
is it a wet dry?
Yeah, and she had sent a snap of her and Anthony's haul. They're like, "Oh, we got all this for $200 or whatever at Walmart, whatever." And I was like, "Girl, that's my shop vac in there. You're showing me my Christmas present right now."
Way to go, Ruth.
Yep. She's like, oh, yep, yes I did.
Well, that's apropos because she is a guest on the episode that aired last weekend.
Yeah, she sure is. And we're saying last weekend because we're again doing time flips. Someday we'll get back on a regular schedule.
Nope, it's chaos. It's pure chaos.
Because we're recording this episode a week ahead because me and Rube will be out at camp with my dad next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't be able to record that day. So, but it'll all work out in the end.
And then we'll be back on track then maybe
Yes.
the weekend after that.
Yes. And then I don't think there's anything going on probably until the end of December, maybe.
Yeah.
So we should be good for
And even around Christmas time, like Leah and Ben will be in town, but we're doing Friends Christmas on Monday.
Mhm.
So
So we should be back at least on a normal-ish schedule for a while anyways, till we go to Napa and then I'll get all fucked up again.
So we won't be normal, but the schedule will be.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Anywho,
But we're back, guys.
we are back. Episode 30. Oh my gosh. I'm almost 30. This podcast is older than me now.
Yep. She's like a spring chicken, this one.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel every morning when I get up and everything just cracks and pops and
Our guest
pinches.
our guest missed me talking about my ailments earlier. So
As you're sitting here with a lap blanket, she came out in the living room. She's like, "Do you have a lap blanket? It's a little bit chilly in there."
I am old and I have bad circulation. And now I have high blood pressure.
In contrast to Summer when she's having a flash in here and she's like, "It's so fucking hot in here."
Well, she told me today, well, there's no heat in there. And I was like, you don't have any air or heat in a bedroom in your house?
There's heat. It's
Like,
just
what happened?
we keep the door closed. So
Do you know who's outside because you locked her out?
that's Teddy barking.
Oh.
Mhm.
Where's or
I don't
her
know. She's
master?
probably outside. But no, Teddy went down with David, I think. He's probably mad about something, but I don't know. That's David's job to do it.
So is this our wine?
That is
for
our
today?
wine, and you'll soon know why I picked that. And I actually bought that when I was in Marquette 2 weeks ago or whatever. And
She just saw me read the label.
and I bought it because the bottle looked cool,
Mm-hmm.
but it actually is really fitting to this story, which I wrote after I bought that.
So we started off strong. It's a Francis Coppola Diamond Collection. It's called Shimmer. Is there shimmer in the wine?
I don't think so.
That was a fail.
Sorry.
But
Call up FFC and let him know.
and then it says Sauvignon Blanc, and if they had stopped there, it would have been great. But it's a Sauvignon Blanc Pinot Grigio.
It might be good.
It might be. Experiencing the refreshing union of a Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio with Shimmer by Francis Coppola Diamond Collection. Crisp, vibrant, and refreshing, this blend invites you to unwind with every sip. Pair with sunny days and good times, light appetizers, and seafood dishes.
Oh, that's everything we did today. Sunny days, light
Yep.
appetizers.
We definitely didn't just pound a pound of ramen each.
We weren't slurping at the table.
And it's definitely not dark at like 6
It is
p.m. here.
pitch dark right now. And it has been for the last 45 minutes.
We beat John though because it was
Yeah.
it was dark where John was in Vermont at 4:30.
Yeah, that sucks. Can you do that?
My shoulder's getting a little better here.
Okay. I hope this is good or I'm never going to hear the end of it. Although I was thinking because she wanted to, we have a special wine and she wanted to use it this week. And I was like, I actually already have something that's somewhat themed. So I'm thinking maybe for the Thanksgiving episode, we'll do that one.
We'll save that for the Thanksgiving episode. And by special, we mean terrible. I cannot wait to crack that open.
Yeah, that's going to be oofta.
Okay, it's a little sweet smelling.
It started out strong and then kind of faded at the end.
Yeah, it's very sharp in the front,
Mhm.
but it doesn't like hit you in the back of the throat or anything.
No, it's not bad.
It's better than Dark Horse Rosé.
Yes. It's better than the relax wine.
It's definitely better than the relax wine.
I probably wouldn't buy it again, but if I was somewhere or someone brought this, I'd be like, oh, okay.
I'm willing to bet this is going to be better than the Thanksgiving episode wine.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, for sure.
And we have no one to blame but ourselves.
I know. Okay, let's get into it.
Where does our story take place?
So our story takes place in several locations. Oh, you fucking bitch. I was saying so as part of a sentence. I'm like soaked now. Oh, she cracked me right in the mouth with a water bottle. And she primed that thing so it had some pressure behind it, like a super soaker. God damn it.
I had to like press it, and then it was locked. So I had to open it.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was so
okay. Our story takes place in several locations. She was getting ready to do it again.
Locked and loaded.
This is a multi-location.
I didn't see on the map where you put it. I just knew you were doing it in the European
Yeah, and we'll
section.
talk about it.
Okay.
So
I gotta work in my aim.
yeah. She just wiped me in the hand first and then decided that wasn't good enough and hit me right in the eye.
Oh, this is great.
I have been so nice to you. And that was part of a sentence. You can't.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
The last couple weeks when it's been your turn, I haven't even brought my squirt gun out.
She's like, that's gonna change next weekend.
Yep, no more mercy. Okay. Meet Doris Payne.
Okay.
She is 95 years old.
She looks like a nice lady.
And that photo is about 7 years ago. So she's 87-ish there.
And so this, and I'm assuming it says 2018 because this is when the photo is taken.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I put on there. She's 95 years old, and she is probably the most notorious jewel thief who's ever lived.
And I just got done saying she looks like a nice lady. She looks like a very petite African-American woman with very kind eyes. That's probably how she got away with it. Okay.
Born on October 30th, 1930, so she just turned 95. In an impoverished mining camp in Slab Fork, West Virginia, her life was difficult from the beginning. Her father, David Payne, was black, and her mother, Clemmy, was a Cherokee woman.
Okay, so that's a difficult thing to be in the 30s.
Poverty, racism, segregation, and abuse were prevalent in her youth. Doris would later describe her father as, quote, a man who felt he didn't deserve a woman as beautiful as her mom, so he tried to beat the pretty out of her, end quote.
He sounds charming. I love everything about him. Does she kill him?
No.
No.
Sorry, but no. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she did. Not in this story. Doris vowed to herself that she would never, ever let herself be dependent on a man.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah. And a lot of this, there is a documentary called The Life and Times of Doris Payne. Sometimes it's available on streaming. It wasn't this week, so I paid like $3.99 to watch it on Amazon. And I highly recommend that people rent or try to find this on streaming because it's very candid. Some of her friends are interviewed.
She doesn't pull any punches.
No. And she is just as charming as can be.
Well, you'd have to be. You don't get into the places you need to be to case them if you're shady.
When she was a young girl, her mother promised to buy her a watch if she got all A's on her report card, which she did. While she was in the store, the salesman was letting her try on different watches until a white patron came into the shop. The salesman immediately became cold towards Doris, wanting her out so the patron wouldn't witness him being kind to a young black girl.
Rude.
Doris, on her way to the door, realized the salesman forgot she still had the watch on her wrist.
Ah!
She headed towards the door, stopped, turned, and called back to the salesman, "Hey, I still have this on," forcing him, in an act of humiliation, to come get it from her because he forgot that she had it on.
Good for you, Doris.
And she wanted to humiliate him because of how he treated her when the white patron came in.
I am a petty person, so I can appreciate this.
This MO soon became a game for Doris. outsmarting inattentive clerks when they didn't notice how many pieces she had on or that she hadn't returned all of them. So that was really the start of.
Well, I don't know if you've ever gone to like a, I guess I'll say good jewelry store, like around.
Girl, who are you talking to? No.
Okay.
I went to Leidy's once.
Okay, so the last time I went to Leidy's and I decided I was going to buy myself a ring, I was getting myself for my graduation for my master's degree with my MSW. And like you try one thing on and they put it back in the case before you try something else on. There's a reason for that.
And I'm sure John will have things to say about this because his mom used to manage the Leidy's Jewelers in Ontonagon when we were growing up. So John would work there on weekends and I would go hang out with him. And we always had the best time.
You didn't like put like all the diamonds on and like dance around the store?
No, in fact, we never even opened the cases. Like not even once.
I would have had a ring on every finger. I would have had a tiara on if there was one.
No, yeah, we are dumb. All we did was like sit in the basement and look at Kelly Blue Book cars on the computer. Like cars we wanted to buy because we were 16.
You nerds.
Yeah, we never once opened the cases and pulled out the jewels.
You're doing it wrong.
Apparently. Eventually, Doris's game turned into necessity. Her mother was unable to leave her abusive husband because of socioeconomic situation.
Stuck in poverty.
And Doris decided she could use her skills to help take care of her mother. When she was 23, working as a nurse in Cleveland, the family had moved to Cleveland at some point, she hopped a bus to Pittsburgh and committed her first robbery, a $20,000 diamond.
She went in hot.
And this would be 1943-ish. 1953.
How old was she at the time?
23.
Okay. That's a big heist for a 23-year-old. That's ballsy.
She felt so guilty. She spent the night in the stall of the bathroom in the Greyhound station, intending to return to the store the next day when it opened to return the ring. But on her walk back to the store, she happened by a resale shop and went in there instead and sold the diamond for $7,000.
She sold a $20,000 diamond for $7,000. Well, I mean, I guess you're
it's
not
pure profit.
Yeah.
And that's about $85,000 today.
I would have loved to have been friends with Doris.
She gave her money. She gave her mother the money so she could get out of town away from the abuse.
Did mom have any questions about where a young half Indian, half African American 23-year-old came up with that kind of money?
I don't think so. I think mom was probably just glad to.
She's like, you know what? Not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm just going to take it and run.
Doris has always said that she didn't feel like a thief. It was simply payback for the racial injustices she encountered during her life.
And I can see that perspective, right? You spent your entire life shitting on me and holding me down. So I'm taking this in the only way I know how.
When she started stealing, it was common for her to not know what she had taken, not known carats and, what kind of gem it was, because it was all done so quickly. And she doesn't get to pick something. It was opportunity. It's opportunity. So whatever she can get is what she's taking. And obviously she's not able to go back and say, oh, hey, what was this thing?
Can you price this out for me? Like, I'm not quite sure what I should be asking for at the pawn shop.
She soon realized she needed a partner who could help her move the stolen goods, not only identify them and how much they're worth, but resell them so she could get cash.
Because you want more than one person. Because if they can tie you to everything, they have you dead to rights.
She was introduced to Harold Babe Bronfield, a college-educated man with ties to the Cleveland underworld.
Got a picture?
I do not. And you'll find out why shortly.
Okay.
At their first meeting, and actually I can just tell you, because this was in like the early 50s, so there weren't many photos of him. He died pretty young. Okay. There is a mugshot photo, but it was behind a paywall to get like a big version.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
So that's why I don't have it. At their first meeting, Babe told Doris that he needed to see her in action, so they went off to Chicago.
So he was college educated, but he's also like a jewel thief? Or like, what's his thing?
I think he had mafia ties. And Doris had said in that documentary that he was the first Jew to graduate from the University of Alabama.
Okay.
So he had spent some time in the South and was kind of
Aware of what was
aware
going
of what was going on.
And he was also willing to work with her.
Mm-hmm. Doris's method of stealing was one of looking the part and always keeping the goods moving. She knew if she looked and acted like someone who belonged in a high-end jewelry store, clerks would relax and show her many expensive items at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
She would request to see several pieces at once, look at them quickly, and constantly move them around between her hands, on her fingers, back on the table. So it's almost like she's doing a shell game.
They can't keep track of what's where because everything's moving all at once.
But the way she's doing it, it doesn't look out of place.
Yeah.
She's
trying
look at
it
this.
on.
Oh, let me see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my brother has one. My brother's wife has one of these, and she's doing all this back and forth stuff.
So she's an actress also.
Mm-hmm. Then she would distract the salesperson for just a brief moment, or wait until they were distracted, and she'd grab a piece, whatever she could. When or if the salesperson noticed something missing, she would help them look for it among the goods and find it.
Yeah, because then I'm not caught and I'm a good Samaritan.
This would establish her as a trustworthy person in the eyes of the jeweler.
So she could come back then probably at a later date if she wanted to try again.
The next time the salesperson looked away, she grabs what she wants because she's established trust.
Mm-hmm.
Doris has said her greatest trick was never concealing the stolen items. She always kept it in or on her hand, so if she would happen to get caught and stopped and questioned, she could just pretend that she had forgotten it was there.
Silly me. I can't believe I did that. It was on my finger and I almost walked
Oh gosh,
out.
I tried
I'm
on so many
so
rings
sorry.
at that time. Yep, that's exactly right. In the worst case, she could throw it somewhere on the floor near where she was and act like it had just fallen off the display case. She also knew that if she was being shown so many pieces at one time, jewelry stores would be less likely to go to the police if something was missing, because the police would have to forward their reports to the jeweler's insurance companies, and showing many pieces out of the case at once is often a breach of your insurance policy because it's negligence.
Thus why you try one ring on at a time at Lottie's Jewelries.
Yep.
Unless you're John and Kyla and you try no rings on at
Zero
Lottie's
rings.
Jewelries.
Not a single ring.
When you got your wedding ring, did you try multiple rings on then?
No.
Girl.
No, because I saw the one that I liked and I was like, that's the one I want. After Doris's successful Chicago heist, Babe decided they could be partners. He was connected to several brokers, and which was the best way to sell stolen goods, was through a broker rather than a pawn shop or something else.
Ask the people from the Louvre.
The two made a lot of money together. Throughout their partnership, Babe usually drove Doris to the jewelry stores, and after the steal, they would go and sell the jewels. He was also well connected to many lawyers through his alleged mafia ties, and were often able to make her charges go away when she would get arrested.
Okay, so she got caught sometimes.
Later, when she was identified and arrested for theft in Pittsburgh, his lawyers were able to negotiate a guilty plea with no time served.
Wow. Those are some good lawyers.
I don't know how they were able to do that. I'm guessing there was some thumb screw turning, and
I'm guessing money greased the wheels, probably.
Yep.
Because it's probably not very likely that the judge is willing to overlook a young black woman stealing.
No.
And being like, oh, pish posh, slap on the wrist.
No, this is definitely a blackmail/bribe scenario.
Yeah.
In a 1956 scheme set up by Babe, Doris pretended to be a private nurse for an attractive young white woman named Judy. Judy wasn't a thief. She was just a friend of Doris, but she was very attractive. She's blonde. She looked very elegant when she dressed up. She looked like she came from high society. Judy faked a limp and walked with a $700 cane purchased from Neiman Marcus by Doris to make sure that everything looked the part.
Yeah, you look the part.
The sales clerk, do you have something to say?
Did Doris ever save any of the pieces she stole to help her look the part in the stores?
No,
Interesting.
not that I know of.
Okay.
I think it was more of handbags, overcoats, hair being done.
So I'm picturing like fur
Nail, yep.
coats, things like that.
Mhm. The sales clerk didn't hesitate to show Judy anything she wanted to see. Doris then would say it was time for Judy to take her medication and asked for some water.
Mhm.
When the salesperson just left them there,
Jewels unattended.
Doris, of course, stole some items. When she left the store, the cab driver who they had hired and told just wait here, we'll only be in there a little while, decided to go get out of the cab, and he was leaning up against the side of the jewelry store,
Yeah.
just smoking or whatever. But he had his driving cap on. So when Doris came out, she thought it was the police when she saw the back of his cap. But she quickly realized it wasn't, and she continued on her way thinking, quote, I'm not putting this shit back, end quote.
I love Doris. She's spicy.
Mm-hmm. Although Babe was white, he always protected Doris, once punching a man who used a racial slur towards her.
So they weren't in a relationship, though. Because she said she was never going to let a man control her.
She loved their lavish lifestyle, getting to enjoy fancy hotels and fine dining that she would see in magazines as a young girl.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, she would pretend to be a character called Miss Lady, and she would dress up in her fanciest clothes, walk around, pretend to have jewels on,
Mm-hmm.
acting all posh. But with Babe, she was able to run in circles where a person of her background would normally have not been able to get above the level of being someone's maid.
Yeah.
Later, others would say Babe fell in love with Doris, but she was only looking for a partner to connect. This was strictly a business.
It was business. And I guess I would bet there was at least some friendship there.
They were friends.
Like she was probably very fond of him, but
Yeah.
not in love or romantically
Mhm.
interested.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Poor Babe.
Eventually, Doris started stealing and selling pieces without Babe to show that she didn't need him.
Mm.
He, of course, was hurt by this and became very vengeful.
Don't mess with the mob, lady.
When they were arrested in the 60s, Babe pled out and was willing to testify against Doris.
Turncoat.
Mhm.
Doesn't he know snitches get stitches?
Not surprisingly, that was the end of their relationship. They stopped being partners
and friends.
and friends. And then Babe actually died in 1968 from cosmetic surgery complications.
Oh.
So that's why I don't have many pictures of him.
I suppose it wasn't like you just go get your every 10-week Botox.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, Doris lost her anonymity and had to move to different markets where photos of her hadn't been published in the newspapers.
And the only reason she was probably able to get away with a lot of this is because there's no closed circuit TV
Mhm.
and cameras where they can roll back the tape and see what's going on.
How does it feel?
I'm betting 1,000 today.
You're back on your shit. The reason for the horn.
And I'm just like locked and loaded.
Yeah, I know. She has her trigger finger ready. She decided to head to Europe, planning to exploit what she
New markets.
considered Europeans' fondness for proper dress and behavior.
She's never been to Europe. How does she know?
She knew she could get away with anything as long as she looked and acted like a proper lady. Something she was well practiced at that point.
Yeah.
She did a lot of research.
Oh.
And I'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Did they have a thieves' guide to Europe or something? And she like checked it out from the library? Like, how do you do that?
I'm
in
going
the
to tell you
50s?
literally right now.
Okay.
It's my next sentence. In 1974, Doris traveled to Monte Carlo, which is where I put my pin up on the board, knowing it was a country full of luxury and wealth. To prepare, she spent 3 weeks in a New York City hotel studying Vogue magazine to ensure she'd be dressed in the latest fashions, and she memorized ads for the most expensive jewels.
She knew what she was targeting.
She knew what she was looking for. As soon as she got to Monte Carlo, she went to Cartier.
I like your taste, lady.
Which at the time they were billing themselves as the finest jewelry store in the world
I'm
or
like,
something
I
like
would
that.
love a Cartier watch.
She worked her charm on a saleswoman and her young assistant, waiting for the moment that neither of them had their eyes on her. Luckily for Doris, another patron entered the shop and she took her chance pocketing a diamond ring. The young clerk noticed that the ring was missing from the tray, but Doris just made eye contact, nodded and smiled warmly, and she kind of gestured towards the saleswoman as if to indicate she had taken it from the tray.
Yeah.
She knew the young clerk wasn't not going to question the saleswoman, his superior, while she's trying to make a sale.
The pecking order.
Uh-huh.
She took advantage of the weakest link.
Mm-hmm. Doris then told the staff that her cab had arrived and she would stop by tomorrow to purchase a piece because she had another appointment she needed to go to.
I thought you said her cat for a second.
Her cat. Meow, meow.
And I'm like, why? Why was her cat there?
I'm still a little stuffed up with that cold I didn't catch in Las Vegas.
She definitely had a cold and refused the Sudafed I offered her.
Doris left the shop with the ring and walked back to the hotel because she did not have a cab waiting.
Mm.
She actually hailed a cab from the hotel to take her back to the airport in Nice, France, which is real close. In the cab, she pulls out the ring to finally look at what she's taken and quickly realized she had made a huge mistake. The price tag had 0 after 0 after 0 after 0 on it.
This is more than a felony at this point.
The ring was 10.5 carats and was worth $550,000, which is $3.6 million today.
How do you fence that? You don't.
By the time she arrived at the airport, which was about 30 minutes away, police were already waiting for her. Doris, sly as ever, remained calm. She pulls a tissue from her handbag and fakes a cough, slipping the ring from her finger into her mouth. When the police frisk her, they're not able to find it. Apparently, they didn't look in her mouth. When they finished, she pretended to blow her nose, again putting the ring back in the tissue, and then drops the ring into her boot.
Mm-hmm.
Police take her back to Monte Carlo, but there's a problem. There's no facility for female inmates in Monte Carlo. So she's lodged in a hotel overlooking the Mediterranean.
Girl. If I ever went to jail, that's what would happen to me.
Mm-hmm. While in the hotel room, Doris asked for a pair of fingernail clippers and a needle and thread to repair the hem of her dress. She used the fingernail clippers to pry the diamond from the setting and threw the ring portion into the sea. She then sewed the stone into the lining of her girdle so it would always be on her. Authorities searched her room every single day, but they were never able to locate the diamond.
I imagine that had to be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care, like, what's happening, having a 10-carat diamond pressing into you on a girdle.
Mm-hmm. And she would wear her girdle even when it was wet. After she washed it, she would not let it hang to dry. She put it back on immediately. She never took her girdle off.
Well, no, because that's where the $10 million diamond is. I got you, girl. I would too.
Mm-hmm. While in custody, she was taken to a hospital clinic. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if it was just for a checkup. I don't think it was anything major.
Were they going to x-ray her to see if she swallowed it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But while she was there, unsolicited, one of the nuns offered to let Doris use the bathroom. She didn't ask to use the bathroom. It was almost as if they were intentionally giving her a means to escape.
Were the nuns like, fuck the popo?
I don't know. But she did.
The nun's like, fuck the police.
Yeah, she's like, hey girl, do you have to pee? And Doris is like, yes. Yes, thank you.
Use this bathroom with an open window that goes to the courtyard where no one's watching.
Yeah. So she just walks out of the hospital, hails a cab, and has it drive her to the airport in Belgium.
I suppose that I want to say the boundaries, but that's not what
Borders
are so close that you can do that.
She flew to New York. I can't figure out why, but she did not have to show any ID along the way. I mean, this is the mid-70s.
Did they have passports back then?
Yes, but I don't know why she didn't have to show anything. I do know when she landed in Monte Carlo, it was the day Nixon resigned. So everybody was kind of preoccupied with that. So I think people were just watching the news, and
I would still think
I
the
would
Border
still,
Patrol would be like, well, Nixon doesn't affect my job. She'll be your passport lady.
But who knows with her? She could have said she lost it,
Mm.
anything like that.
It was the 70s. Things were a little more willy-nilly.
I'll mention later, she did have a few fakes.
Maybe she had one in her girdle.
Mhm. She landed in New York and immediately went to her broker to sell the diamond for $148,000, which is $975,000 today.
Okay, so she didn't get hosed on this one.
No.
That's good. I would have shit a brick, though, if I was Doris during all of this.
Mhm. She never did. She always just...
She has like iron nerves.
She later admitted that she made several mistakes in Monte Carlo. First, when she went into the shop, she was the only patron there until that second person happened to walk in.
You need to pick a busy shop.
Mhm.
We're taking notes, people.
Yeah.
So if you're going to rob a jewelry store, you make sure there's at least one other person in there that they're
Mhm.
paying attention to.
She also went way too big on the expensive ring, and that was something Babe always warned her against. And she didn't do it intentionally. It was just the first thing she could grab.
Yeah.
She also didn't change her clothes between leaving the jewelry store and going to the airport. So she left a visual trail for witnesses to kind of follow where she went. And lastly, she chose to wait in the airport. She had a long time between when she got to the airport and when her flight was to leave.
Go to the lounge, girl.
She didn't go somewhere else and collect herself first, which was what she usually would do. She'd change her clothes, she'd put on a different hat, whatever. Like a spy movie.
Yeah. Mission Impossible.
But for Doris, jail was just part of the game. In the 1980s, she escaped from federal custody in Ohio by again just walking out of a hospital.
Well, like going back to Monte Carlo, I imagine there weren't a lot of African American women hanging out in Monte Carlo.
There were absolutely not. So she was actually a little bit of an anomaly. And I don't know. I think people were...
And very easy to spot.
But I think people were just like, whoa, she must be something. She must be a celebrity.
Yeah.
She actually told some people that she was Otto Preminger's wife. He was the famous director. And I can't remember what he directed off the top of my head. But I looked and I was like, did they not have newspapers? Because Otto Preminger was married to a white woman at that time. So I don't know.
It was much easier to not have to worry about fact checking because people can just pull out their phone, Google it, and be like, lies.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, if he was married to someone who was biracial or African American or something, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But no, she didn't give a fuck. She's like, oh yeah, I'm married to Otto Preminger.
She's got balls.
Also in the 1980s, in Zurich, Switzerland, she decided to celebrate the day's heist of stealing Rolexes. She went back to her hotel.
Was this back when Rolex actually had watches in their stores?
Yes. Not just things to look at and you have to order. Changed her clothes and took a cab to a nightclub close to the French border. She decided, while she was there, she decided to have a drink, which was drinking on the job was something she never did. That was one of her rules.
Well,
you absolutely do not
you
drink.
make dumb mistakes then.
But she broke that rule. She soon started dancing and having a great time in Zurich. She's at this nightclub. What she didn't know was that the dance club had a live video feed that was broadcast to TVs and homes all over Zurich.
Oh no!
So it was like a channel that you could turn on and it would show like this live feed of a club.
I would pay money to have a subscription for like Geno's and maybe the Monty.
Yeah.
And Stubbs. So I can just like see and hear what's going on.
She was immediately recognized and arrested on her way out the door of the nightclub.
Yep.
Authorities put her on a train to the embassy in Geneva. The train trip was supposed to be nonstop.
It was not.
But everything is fucking comes up Nicole as usual. The train had to stop for water. I'm assuming that's to cool the engines.
Yeah.
Doris asks to use the bathroom, just jumps off the train. She ran through a field. She's all scratched. She tears her pantyhose. She looks a mess. But a passerby picks her up and drives her out of Switzerland.
I love this woman.
In 1999, So she's almost 70 years old now.
Is she still stealing?
Yes. She was convicted of stealing a $57,000 ring from a Neiman Marcus in Denver.
Oh, that's small potatoes to her now.
Mhm. She was sentenced to 12 years, but only served 5. After she stole the ring, she sold it and fled to Europe. Authorities searched her Ohio home and found $10,000 in cash and many passports. Over the years, Doris has had at least 32 aliases, 10 dates of birth, 9 passports, and 11 social security numbers.
Doris, you're a legend.
In 2005, at age 75, she was arrested in Las Vegas for stealing from a Neiman Marcus in California.
I'm surprised that they let her into stores. I would think every jewelry store from here to Timbuktu would just have a picture of her that do not help this woman.
As technology and surveillance improved, Doris had a more difficult time completing her heists undetected. In 2010, she was arrested in California for popping tags off a Burberry coat and just walking out of Saks Fifth Avenue with it.
Yeah.
In 2011, she was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison for stealing a 1-carat diamond from a Macy's in California.
I didn't know Macy's had one.
I didn't either, but maybe they don't anymore. She only served 2 years. In 2013...
So she goes to prison. She's like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. In 2013, she stole a $22,000 ring in California and was arrested on felony larceny charges. She was 83 years old at the time.
No prison wants an 83-year-old woman.
She pled guilty and was sentenced to 2 years in jail, but only served 3 months due to overcrowding.
And you're going to let the elderly and like the sick out first.
Mm-hmm. In 2015, so she's 85 now.
I have a hard time getting up and walking down the hallway in the morning because all my joints are popping. This bitch is 85 years old and stealing millions of dollars worth of diamonds.
She steals some Christian Dior earrings in Atlanta.
Good for her.
And was arrested and charged with shoplifting, only shoplifting, by Atlanta police. In 2016, she was wanted for the theft of a $33,000 ring stolen in North Carolina, and authorities released a memo to all local jewelry stores to be on the lookout for her.
You know, she really at that point should have started playing the dementia angle. Like, oh, I don't know what I did. I don't remember. I'm just confused.
She was again arrested on larceny charges in Atlanta in December 2016. In 2017, she was again arrested in Atlanta for stealing $86 worth of merchandise from Walmart.
So she could have afforded $86 worth of, but she just didn't want to.
She was still wearing her ankle monitor from her previous arrest.
I like this woman.
We're
going to put her picture.
Mugshots here.
We're going to put her picture
she's a legend.
next to your new husband up there.
Over the years.
Oh, I like 2013 to 2016. She doesn't even look sorry.
Oh, no, not one bit.
She's like, whatever.
Over the years, she has stolen more than $2 million worth of jewels, and that's not adjusted for inflation. That's whatever the value was at the time she stole it. She was never convicted on any of the heists that made her famous. The Monte Carlo heist, the Zurich heist. She maintains that she has spent every single cent of her profits.
Good for her.
She's also said that she has no regrets about being a jewel thief. Only regret is that she got caught.
Does she regret that her and Babe ended up not being friends?
I think their relationship was really complicated. I tried to get as much as I could because she's in the documentary. Like when it came out in 2013, they're still interviewing her.
And it's like leaking.
I'll talk about the documentary a little bit more in a second. She asserts that her crimes have always been victimless and were punishment for the racism she experienced growing up.
She viewed herself as a Robin Hood. Only she was the poor.
She says stealing jewels has nothing to do with her moral fiber as a person.
Well, that's an interesting concept, right? Because her internal compass said, because I was treated poorly, it makes this okay. But I'm not going to go and steal from like a mom and pop shop. We're just trying to get by.
Mhm.
She'll steal from fancy corporations, and she'll steal
Yeah.
from jewelers.
And I'm sure part of it is she knows these places are insured.
I wonder if she ever went back and stole that watch.
I don't know.
I hope she did.
I hope so.
Like,
Yeah, in the documentary, and I really encourage everybody to watch this if they can. So it came out in 2013, so it's a little bit old now. But she's in the middle of one of her court cases in this documentary, and they're out filming, and they're out in some kind of bazaar.
should she be talking to a documentary crew if she's in the middle of a
She
court
does
case?
not give a fuck.
Okay.
They're out in the middle of this bazaar, kind of like a vendor event, and of course she lifts a ring from one of the vendors. She's on
She can't help herself.
No. And there's another scene.
Was the camera guy like zooming in on?
Her friend is with her, and her friend is hilarious. Her friend's like, "God damn it, Doris! Like, I fucking told you not to do that while I'm here." And there's another scene because she's on probation.
Yeah.
And or her parole or whatever it was, and she had signed on her parole sheet that she was having a meeting with the director of this documentary. So they called him to verify, and he's like, "No, we didn't have a meeting." So he confronts her on camera, and she just talks herself right out of it.
I am impressed.
Yeah, and she is. There's an FBI agent who helped prosecute her that they interview, and he's like, "Yeah, she looks like a kindly old grandma."
She does. Well, and if she can be charming.
That's Diamond Doris Payne.
I love Diamond Doris.
She's a legend. She's still alive.
I love
She's still
everything
doing her
about
shit.
her.
She's slowed down a little bit. You can see her heists have gotten a little bit smaller in number.
I hope she never gives up the ghost and she just keeps going until the day she drops dead.
Yeah.
I hope that she steals something and takes it to the grave with
She
her.
probably will. I love that she has spent every single cent of everything she ever stole.
Someone will go to her casket and she'll like slip something off their finger post-mortem and just take it with her.
Someone's ring will get stuck on like a
sleeve.
like a sleeve thread or something.
And like you have to lose the finger or the ring. So like you just give her the ring.
I hated having to take jewelry off when I was closing caskets because the whole family and the whole goddamn world is behind you watching.
And I'm sure they're like vultures for the most part.
Well, no, it's just like you don't want to be like reefing on grandma's
also because
finger.
they're stiff, and so like, the whole thing's gonna come off.
Yeah, and I mean, I got pretty good at it.
Couldn't you just use a little Vaseline and?
Well, no, because like you're closing it live in front of the audience. Like, so family goes and says their final goodbyes. Usually, pastor or whatever would take him to a side room for a private family prayer. And while they're doing that, I'm closing the casket. But everyone who's not immediately family is like watching me.
I always thought that if you had the jewelry on in the casket, that you got buried in it.
Oh no, a lot of people always wanted their jewelry. Some people would say no, leave it with.
Yeah.
Which was always very good, but most people wanted it back. And some of those rings were not easy to get off.
Well, because I'm sure some of those women had had that jewelry on for like 40 years and like their knuckles have grown big.
100%. Yeah, there were some that I just had to tell families like I cannot get this off
Like
without cutting it.
like
And they
you-
would say no, leave it.
Like I'll have to get a ring cutter to get this off. But I also think you probably know that's the case before we even get to that point.
Oh yeah, most family was like, oh no, just leave it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Doris is a legend. We're gonna post a couple pictures of her. We'll find a few more. Maybe I can dig a little more and we'll get that mugshot.
Well, one
with her and Babe.
picture of Babe. But I'm going to post on buzzedandbaffled.net her mugshots. You need to look specifically 2013 and 2016 when she is getting a little longer in the tooth. Because the first time she looked sad that she got caught.
Yeah, I don't know if that's sad or if it's just like you're inconveniencing me.
Yeah. Later on, she's like, what? I'm just going to be back in my shit as soon as I walk out of here.
Yep. Yeah, there's a judge who's sentencing her. I think it's in her 2017 case. And he's like, I have to sentence you to prison. You will not stop. Like, he's like, you are not going to stop doing this.
And she goes, I'm not going to stop. I won't stop doing
She's like,
this.
I'm sick. Like I'm old and my breathing is bad. And he's like, every time you go somewhere, you steal.
You couldn't go to a bazaar and not steal.
There was a she went into Macy's. It wasn't a Macy's,
Yeah.
but like a family jewelry store. They had invited her in because they're like, "Hey, show us how you did this so we can watch out for it."
Yeah.
So they're filming her in there, and she's not giving up her secrets, but she's charming the sales clerk. And pretty soon a police officer comes in because part of her parole is that she cannot be in jewelry stores, so she has to leave.
Oh no. But she got it
And
on
she argues with them because she's like, "No, they said I couldn't go into Macy's. This is whoever."
but also like she was doing an honest day's work
Yeah,
there. She
just
was
like-
getting paid as
Yeah.
like a consultant.
Yeah, the whole documentary is bonkers. This whole story is bonkers.
I love it. I also I enjoy the picture I chose for this episode also for the cover photo. You and your wonky eye, my big head.
my weird arrow hairline. What do we have next? Do you know yet?
I do. I have a couple of things in the hopper, but I'm not doing murder. I'm doing the story of Cinnamon the capybara.
Oh. Okay.
In honor of the capybara that we got to go pet.
Yeah. What was her name? Coconut.
Coconut
I
the
love
capybara.
Coconut.
But we're going to learn about Cinnamon, who is a little spicier
Oh.
than Coconut.
Okay. Can't wait.
To the next pour and the next plot twist.